I want to thank each and every one of you. We just hit 100 subscribers, and that is really fun. It's fascinating to do this, find out that there's other people around the world that enjoy ham radio the way I do. I love to set up antennas, set up radios, and it's an awful lot of fun to do this. I got my license back in 2013, and I did it for preparedness reasons. Learn about radio, be prepared for the apocalypse. And, that was probably one of the best things I ever did because I learned so much more from this hobby. Years and years before I was into that 11 meters. Nobody likes to say that here in the U.S., but hey, it's radio, and it was fun back then. When I was a little kid, I used to hike up onto a mountain when I was like 15, and I would take my bicycle, a car battery, a vertical antenna, quarter wave vertical antenna, and a Radio Shack antenna. I would haul it up on top of the mountain. I would spend the night up on top of there, and I lived in California. And I would talk to truckers and other people in Florida. That blew my mind that you could actually do that. And unfortunately, I didn't have anyone in my family that did ham radio, so I really didn't understand how that worked. Fast forward to now, I get my ham radio license. It is so much fun. Well, if I would have known. So I'm here now, and it's very exciting to be in the hobby and to share the experiences with you and to have you share with me. I love learning and watching what other people do, antennas, battery setups, and just flat out going out and using your radio. That is super fun to do. And you get to meet the most amazing people while you're out there. There was back in 2016, I had my license for a few years, and I got excited into this part of the hobby called Summits on the Air. If you haven't heard that, I'll put a link in the description below for what that is. And that's taking a radio, ham radio, up into a mountaintop to an authorized summit. And there's a whole thing they go through to figure out that when you find another ham that's got the same enthusiasm as you do, you can't help but let's go do radio. Let's go operate. This is K7 Sierra Whiskey, K7 Sugar Whiskey, calling CQ for Summits on the Air.
Whiskey Uniform 7 Hotel.
So we went up onto this mountaintop. I didn't know any better. And we bought all this stuff. I didn't know how to film anything or whatever, but luckily I found some footage of this, and it was so fun. I'm glad I found it. This particular event was a Summits on the Air. There wasn't really a contest going on, but we were on a summit, and it was a Saturday. Well, we just had some fun here. Let me show you what I mean, and you'll see.
So KG7UUS and N0KVN on top of T-Peak Mountain at 8,200 feet. Look at Mount Nebo.
I've got a few more like this. That was my old call sign back then, N0KVN. Through a lot of years of contesting, I realized I wanted a lot shorter call, and I wanted one for the area that I live in. But we got set up, and we did the actual operating. We brought some gear that we would never bring now, but it's one of the parts of the hobby that I think is fun is you learn, you grow as you go along, and you improve your gear, your process, and that's how you get better. Someone can tell you it, but until you do it and you experience why things work, that's part of the fun. Let me show you this next clip.
We're all set up, and Keith's getting ready, getting 2 meters dialed in, getting some spotting going. Got the HF rig out. We got some solar panels going.
I look back at those batteries and go, oh my goodness. But we know we wanted to go have some fun, and so we did. And here's kind of what we experienced.
Good luck, QRZ. Japan station, go ahead.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of wind noise in this audio, but that's just how it was. And this is just to kind of show you, you set up the radio and you start talking, and next thing you know, you're getting all hooked. Your heart starts pumping because you're up on top of this mountain. There's no one around. All of a sudden, you've got this huge crowd. And if you've done this, if you've done any kind of contesting or whatever, you can hear my voice. I get all excited just talking about it. And this was 6 years ago. Well, here's this next clip. I'm just kind of giving you a scenario for, since I didn't film the whole thing, I've got a couple short clips.
November Delta Zero Charlie, you're 5'9" here in Utah, QSL.
QSL to 5'9", thanks very much. You're 5x7, 57 into Minnesota. Thanks for the activation. Could you confirm your call, Keith?
Roger, Roger. My call is Kilo Golf 7, United Uniform Sugar.
Keith was really excited, and I was excited for him. If you're an operator and you've been around this, there's something to it. There have already been a bunch of other calls that have been called in, and so you get going, and you're logging, and you're talking, and you're having to remember all this stuff. It's pretty fun. There's more.
Oscar Mike Golf. Whiskey Echo 7, Oscar Mike Golf.
Oh, my goodness.
And, that was another fun part of this thing is that there were some locals that were in the area, and we were close enough. We got some of the guys that were in the local valley that were probably 20 miles away that we could pick them up on 20 meters, and that was really fun. So we got some local people to make contacts with us while we're up on the mountain. It just, it spreads the love. There's a little bit more.
Where is it?
November 7, Delta, Echo, Delta.
November 7, Delta, Echo, Delta.
Roger, roger.
Roger, roger. You're 5'9", here in Utah. Great audio, booming signal. QSL?
Hey, likewise, you're 5'9 plus 10 in Western Washington.
Roger, roger. We appreciate the contact from Western Washington, 7-3.
7-3, and good luck.
If you're an operator and you're listening on a weekend, which most SOTA people do, and they do it during the week too, right? If you're a SOTA person, those are called chasers. So if you're scanning the band and you hear one of us, Summits on the Air activators, and they're calling CQ SOTA, blah, 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 whatever summit, reach out to them, because sometimes you may be the contact, the only contact, or the last contact that we need when we've hiked for hours and we've been waiting up in the wind and all this stuff. And you're the last contact that we need to do a successful activation. You only need 4 contacts to make a valid activation, so you can get a pileup going and the adrenaline goes and you get some really booming stations like this guy was when he was talking to Keith. And that makes it really fun because you get to log down all their times, and sometimes people will share some information with you where you didn't know and they were super far away. And well, I don't need to tell you, because if you're a ham operator, you already know. And it isn't always about having the loudest signal or hearing someone. Sometimes pulling a weak signal out is just as fun because it's practice. It's something that you would need in an emergency situation. So there you go. You can see just this was that long ago, and I still get excited. You learn about doing more with less. And while operating with high power is fun, I have an amplifier, so I get that. Operating on low power when you're camping per se, and I love to do that, or you're hiking up on top of a mountain where you can use your handheld and talk to someone 100 miles away on just 5 watts or 2 watts on a handheld. That is super cool. You got to experience that. And not every summit do you have to hike. There's a lot of them that are just drive-ups. You drive up, you get out of your car, you walk 10 feet, 20 feet over, and you operate your gear like you would, and you call it a day. And that's pretty fun too.
Golf 8, Japan.
QSL, you're 5'9".
Roger that. You're about 5'2" here into Utah, QSL.
All right, so that was it. That was just a small clip, a few clips, a glimpse into what I enjoy about this hobby. So this is my short thank you to the 100 subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. I'm really excited about making more content. Big shout out goes to those people who helped make that video possible back in 2016. K7SW, who's a local in my area. Awesome young man who does some really good things for the community. WE7OMG, not only does he make these amazing J-poles, he helps beginners get into the hobby and have fun. And that's really what it's all about. Getting to meet people, learning new things, and having a great time. So thanks for watching. Thanks for you 100 subscribers. I sure appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.